The Winter Gardens, Blackpool, and it is the last 16. 3 more last 16 ties to come. But who will join Andrew Gilding into the last 8? Because he has just brushed aside Dirk van Duijvenbode. 100.5 his match average for the ton at 101.24. He couldn't quite beat his best ever at the match play, but in terms of performances, Paul Nicholson, that is as good as it gets for Gilding. He was outstanding.
Started brilliantly, maintained a nice distance between himself and Dirk, and Van Duijvenbode was not able to bridge that gap at any point. He tried almost too hard in this game. He was frustrated with something in the first 5 legs. He didn't win any of them, but by the time we came to the second session, it was a management of the whole game from Gilding that really impressed me. He lost the second session by 3 legs to 2, but still found himself 4 in front, and by the end he was 6 in front. So was he ever in trouble? Not really, but there were important shots in there. The 103 checkout was really impressive, and you could see it have a physical and mental effect on Dirk van Duijvenbode, and maybe at that point the Dutchman is thinking, this is just not going to be my night. So Gilding's through, and he's going to be playing the winner of our 3rd match of the night.
Yeah, he is. But next up, we have got the small matter of Chris Dobey against Gerwyn Price. Dobey will beat Ricardo Pietrezco in round 1. Only made the quarterfinals here once. This is his 6th appearance. Gerwyn Price, that feisty affair with Daryl Gurney, 10-7. Runner-up in 2022, but what about this for a stat? Only 3 times has he been to the quarterfinals, Gerwyn Price. Who would have thought that?
Yeah, his record here at Blackpool is not particularly sparkling. We know he made the final 3 years ago, but he did make the quarterfinals on debut. So if you look at it from those perspectives, they take care of 2 of the quarterfinals. So 2015 is one of them, 2022 is one of them, and considering he's been in this tournament another 8 times, we're taking this year out of it, that's 1 quarterfinal from the other 8 times. That is quite surprising.
It is. Well, it is and it isn't. I remember coming here in years gone by saying it just doesn't work for him here, and then obviously he did have a run to the final in 2022, didn't win it. It's one he dearly wants to win. He's been in great form, hasn't he? 19-4 the head-to-head record between the 2. It looks on paper like there's only 1 winner, but I think we're disrespecting Chris Dobey. Dobey beat Gerwyn Price at the Worlds, 6 months ago.
Yeah, and let's not forget as well that Dobey is the highest seed of the 2. We know that the world rankings have been spoken about candidly by even some of our colleagues here at talkSPORT, that they may be flawed. Nathan Aspinall is currently projected to be number 23 in the world. That doesn't make sense. But Gezi Price came into this tournament as the number 11 seed. Chris Dobey came in to this tournament a lot higher than that because his world ranking reflected that. But I'm really glad you brought up that game at the start of the year when Dobey was winning at the World Championship by 5 sets to 3 in a quarterfinal match. That was the first game of the year, the very first game of 2025, and it was a very good one for Chris because he was able to exercise the ghosts of the previous New Year's Day when he lost 5-4 to Rob Cross at the World Championship. So he started the year on the right footing by doing something that he couldn't do 365 days before that. As for what he can do tonight, I think he's just got to play this game smart, the man from Bedlington, Northumberland. He'll get a sense of what kind of mood Price is in when he does the bullseye shoot off with him 30 minutes before they do their walk-ons, and he will figure out how to get through this match. As to whether he can, it may just come down to the standard, because if Price does show up tonight, maybe his ceiling is just a little bit higher in venues like this than Chris Dobey. Time will tell.
Yeah, they did meet in a Players' Championship final right at the beginning of the campaign, and Dobey actually, I'm pretty sure he missed darts to win that, and then Gezi nicked him 8-7 right at the end.
Yeah, and I think if you look at the behaviours of Chris's career, I mentioned the cross situation from the start of last year. He put it right when he got the opportunity, and I think the same can be said for Price. You mentioned that his record here on the whole, whereas he has made the final, is not sparkling, but his entire career. And Chris can be added into this pot as well. When they don't do anything naturally, they don't really magnetise to a situation, they go away and they figure it out. Some people really struggle when they come to Blackpool and they never figure it out. But even though Chris has only been to the quarterfinals, that's still not bad for a really good run. He'd like to go further. If he's going to go further, his section of the draw is rather interesting to say the least, because the winner of that game is going to take on MVG or Josh Rock.
Yeah, all will be revealed tonight. We know the top half of the draw. That's all done and dusted. If you caught up on the talkSPORT Darts YouTube page, we reviewed last night, we previewed tonight. We'll be doing the same again tonight. That'll be out in the morning. Lots of you liking and subscribing, and we do really genuinely do appreciate you doing that. Each and every one of you that takes the time either to do that or leave a comment or share the video is much appreciated. We're waiting the action to continue tonight. Got another 2 games to come after this one. Danter and Mason will be back, Littler against Wattimena, and then we get to see Michael van Gerwen against Josh Rock. I was just having a look, Nico, just throwing ahead to that game. 52nd time Michael van Gerwen will have played here, or in this tournament, because I know there are a few games not here. 52 games. He is a massive, massive underdog tonight. I wonder how many times in all those games. Can't be any more than 5 he's been the underdog, surely. Maybe 10.
Yeah, I remember when he played here against Steve Beaton in 2012, and that was around about the time where he was really starting to get this machine moving. A lot of the games that he played before that, he might have been seen as an underdog. So we're talking about a time span of about 13 years. That's a long time to be shouldering the pressure of favouritism. I don't know, it might work in his favour in a weird sort of way. Do you know what, I can come in here as the underdog? This feels a bit refreshing, because Josh, at the start of his career, he played Michael at the Grand Slam, and he was seen as someone who could possibly worry Michael that night. He had a 9-darter in that game, but Josh was still the underdog, and maybe he was able to have that freedom in the first 10 legs because he was the underdog. Can MVG genuinely go into that game feeling like one? As much as the odds would reflect it, I don't think he can, because I think he puts pressure on himself to cement legacy and to, you know, add bricks to his Jenga tower, if you want to put it that way. He'll want to beat Josh Rock tonight, purely and simply because he wants to be in the next round, and he wants to show the world that he's still got fuel in the tank.
Yeah, we'll find out. That's the last one. We are looking forward to that already. We're so lucky. We say each and every year. Hottest ticket in town here at the PDC Matchplay. If you can't get one, the best place to be, talkSPORT, because we have every dart live throughout the tournament. Either talkSPORT, talkSPORT 2, or right here on the talkSPORT Darts YouTube channel. 15,000 subscribers now. We appreciate that as well. That's gone up over the last day or so. Right. I think Gerwyn Price will be anticipating a more calm night on the stage, because I think he knows he's going to play Chris Dobey at darts. There'll be no histrionics either side of it. Yeah,
that's something he can really enjoy tonight. He's going to have a toe-to-toe game with someone who is ultra respectful, but Price, who's just walked past us in our commentary position, lower stage left, the reaction of the crowd will be very interesting, because when he made his walk-on before he played Gurney, there were a few customary boos, and then everything disappeared, and he went up on the stage, gave it a big yelp, and everybody loved it. Whether he does that again tonight to get people engaged, we're about to find out. But as for the game itself, it will be straight down the line.
It will. John McDonald on stage.
All brought to you by the PDC. And ladies and gentlemen, we're coming to you live on Sky Sports from the great Winter Gardens. Time to meet the players. Ladies and gentlemen, from Wales, a World Matchplay finalist, the winner of 3 Grand Slam titles, a 2-time World Cup champion, and the 4th champion of the world, the Iceman, Gerwyn.
Customary boos, they did come, Mark.
Yeah, they did. I don't think he's bothered. I think he enjoyed the support of the crowd the other night. Look, there might be a few boos, but I think those days are gone now. There was genuine animosity towards him before. I think you're going to hear him now. I'm sure he'll let out the big roar. I think he's like a wrestling star coming on and getting into the ring. Everyone's here to see him. They want to look at him. They want to see what he looks like in the flesh and hear that noise that he generates. There you go, right on cue. They love it. They love it, and they love him.
They genuinely do. And he doesn't have a problem opening his bottle of water, but some people have in this tournament. No asking the referee or John McDonald, can you just open this for me? Well, Chris Dobey will be hoping to open up a can of something else in this game. This is a tough match, even though he's the higher seed. Here comes Hollywood, and he's from England. He's from Bedlington, Northumberland, wearing black and white with his kids' names on the shirt.
These two, 23 meetings, 19-4 Gerwyn Price leads, but I just wonder here, Chris Dobey was nowhere near it in round one. Now we said that about Bunting and Anderson, and they, to be truth be told, were nowhere near it in round two either, but we know he can up his game, and Price was brilliant, and Price has been brilliant for a month now. Just wonder if he dips and Dobey rises, can Dobey get the better of him?
Yeah, he might have to see from his Welsh opponent tonight a little bit of a reduction in output. For the year, 8 meetings. The reason for that is because they were both involved in Premier League darts, which I'm sure you were following on the talkSPORT Darts YouTube channel. Gerwyn Price was 5-3 up before tonight. Throughout the course of the year, they were 2-2 in the Premier League. Price making the playoffs, Dobey not so in his second campaign. But their most recent meeting was at the European Tour event in Kiel in northern Germany in a semi-final. It would be a tournament that Price would win, beating Gary Anderson in the final, but in that semi, Price won 7-3. So everything seems to be leaning towards the Iceman, but this is a very different day. This is not northern Germany, this is Blackpool, and it's first to 11.
It is, unless we get to 10-10, and we'll play on a bit longer. 140 for Dobey, nice start for him. But Price is in the red bit early doors. He'll match Dobey's 140 in a promising start.
Promising start for Chris, actually. It took him a while to get going in his previous match with Ricardo Pietreczko. He would win it 10 legs to 5, but it was nowhere near the kind of output that he was looking for. 78 as a backup score to his 140 start. 283 after 6 for Chris. Price on 361. He has to switch as well on dart 2. Gets 6 19s, and 134 is his backup shot to leave 227.
Yeah. Dobey above the treble 20 bet a couple of times here. Again, he hits the treble 19. Price, though, you feel with the advantage here. If he stays straight, he'll be on a finish, albeit a big one. But he hits treble 17 to knock off 51 off his score, and he is down to 136.
Yeah, 50 ahead. Dobey on 186 here with the darts in the first leg of the contest. Strays into the treble 5 with dart 2, and this time his cover shooting downstairs is not good enough. Only treble 7 to leave 130. Price on 136. There's one treble 20. Doesn't get another. He just sails over the top of the marker. Has to settle for a single 16 to leave his favourite tops if he comes back.
Well, that treble 7 left him on 130, which is not the worst shot, but that dart could be a blocker. He's got to get a treble 20 to get to the bull, and he can't. That dart short and right in the middle, blocked most of the bed. So Price for a breaker throw is looking at tops for a 1-0 lead. Tops he hits, and Gerwyn Price picked up where he left off against Daryl Gurney as he takes out the opening leg.
Yeah, 13 dart break there for Gezi, and that's the worry. If certain aspects of his game really come to the fore at the start, he can put pressure on opponents very, very quickly. Heavy scorer. If he leaves tops enough with 3 darts in hand, Dobey's going to have to find another gear. I know it's early, but his big shooting has got to be found. That will help. It's another 140 start in leg 2, just like leg 1. He's got to mount an assault and make sure that Gezi doesn't get a big head start against him.
Yeah. Barring really Rob Cross, everyone that we've seen get out to a good lead has held on to win, haven't they? There've not been too many big comebacks.
overshooting again from Dobey. That was something he did a lot against Ricardo Pietreczko in the first round, because his darts were hitting the board and weren't landing plumb. They were wobbling a little bit. He wasn't dicing with bouncing darts out of the board. Dobey, the number 6 seed, on 270 here, and again, small 20 start. Has to find a treble to leave a finish here. Fails to do so. He's got that 60 surrounded, leaving 210. Price, 164, has the luxury of laying up here. That's exactly what he's going to do. 2 treble 20s and a big 4 to leave tops. And just like the first leg, he's left himself 3 darts at tops after 12. And you would have to expect that he's going to take a 2-0 lead.
You would. So, tops for 2-0 for Gerwyn Price. Right over the top. Good marker, surely. Yes, it is. Follows up the 13 darter with a 14 darter. Gerwyn Price 2-0 up, averaging 111 after 2 legs, and an ominous start for the Iceman.
I think it's taken quite a while for Price to figure out how to behave in a long format match. And I don't think when he won the Grand Slam for the first time, it did him any favours, because it was energy fueled and there was a lot of angst. I think the biggest win of his career wasn't the Worlds in 2021. I think it was him defending the Grand Slam for the first time, because the way he was able to legitimise that first win by being better than the previous year, that has set him up to be the player he is now. And he's got aggression in spades, but it's muted and measured better than ever.
Fair point. Dobey 248, Price 308. Dobey at the hockey now. He's got to get a leg on the board here, otherwise he'll be behind at the break.
This is not a good sign. You don't want to give the Iceman any sort of leads. 308 for Gezi. He's got 2 treble 18s. Make that 3. That's the 162 to leave 146, and Dobey's 164. Might have to go. There's 1 treble 19. There's another one perfectly nestled in for the bullseye. A pause, but no bullseye at the end. The 25 will have to make do for now. Price on 146.
Oh, this would sting. This would sting. He's hit 2 treble 20s, he's double 13. 146 for Gerwyn Price. Dobey missed the ball and Price makes him pay. Clinical from the Iceman.
This is absolutely sensational. You leave that door open that gives you a mere draft. Price will walk through and say, welcome to my tornado. Averaging 115 in the first 3 legs. He's averaging 13 darts per leg at this stage. And the warning flag has been dropped to Dobey, as if to say, if you don't get into this sort of zone with me, it's not going to be your night, me old cocker.
Dobey is watching on. Price now hits a maximum. Worth bearing in mind, he hit the 162 to leave the 146, and he took that out, and now he's gone 180 as well. He's flying at the minute. Dobey's averaging a ton. He's had 1 go at the bull, and he's getting blasted.
Price really is in the zone tonight. He's staring a hole through that board. He's had a bad visit there, but he's afforded it because of his really good leg position. 135 left after 9. Dobey with 95. He needed an extra treble at the end there to leave a finish from 303. Didn't get it. 135 for Price. He starts on treble 19. That leaves 78. That treble 18 leaves double 12. Oh, it's just a little bit high, but what a creative way of trying to get a 135 when you've got 2 visits for it.
If he would have hit that, Chris Dobey might as well have put his darts away and gone home. Double 12. This is for another 13 darter.
You heard what he thought of that. The Iceman is very much intact. And whatever's happened over the last couple of days, because the way he handled the media, I thought was very clever post-Gurney. He might have had a little bit of solitude in the last day and a bit. Whatever he's done, he's returned to the Winter Gardens with 2,000 fans chanting his name. And this is grade A, A5, prime Gezi Wagyu.
You made a point. Rewind 10 years ago. Would the crowd have been chanting for Andrew Gilding and Gerwyn Price at the match play? I'm not sure they would.
No, I blame Dan Dawson. all of his hipster activity on the European tour over the last 10 years, saying Gilding's this and Dirk's that and watch out for Gezi. It's as if Dan Dawson, one of our colleagues, is the town crier. It's like he was right all along. 5-0 up was Gilding at the first break. That might be the same for Price. He's supposed to be the underdog based on the seeds. Number 11 in the world. Of course he's not.
Well, Dobey is looking for a max here on his own throw. He gets one, gets him down to 73. But the way Price is going, this big fish is going. Not quite. Clicks the wire.
Not once but twice. Gets a 60 with the last dart. So Dobey on 73. He's got to get this to stop a bageling in session 1. There's the treble 19. He's double 8 for a 73 out. And just like that, an ice-cold Hollywood on the stage takes his first leg of the contest. That was very, very close to being a perfect first 5 legs for Price. But if you'd offered him a 4-1 scoreline at the start, he would have taken it, especially the way he's just played in those first 5 legs.
If you'd have offered Dobey 102.46 and 50% on your doubles in the opening 5 legs, he'd have gone, deal. 3-2, 4-1. Yeah, it's 4-1, Chris, but you're losing because Price is 114 and 67% on the doubles.
And it can't be forgotten as well, Mark, the fact that Gezi is maintaining 67% on the doubles in the tournament. He's 14 from 21. And it's the things he's hitting. It's familiar, it's tops. That tops bed, it might as well have Gezi's name written on it. Just come in, let's have a party. You can bring as many friends as you like. 4-1 up is very fair at this point because Dobey's only had 2 darts at the double in the first 5 legs.
Yeah, still to come tonight, the world champion Luke Littler averaged 108.92 in round 1. His demolition of Ryan Searle takes on Jermaine Wattimena. 4 times they've met and Luke Littler has spanked him every single time, but averaging 107.63 in those 4 games. Wattimena averaging just under a ton. It's going to be fast, it's going to be furious, and you get the feeling it's going to be big scoring.
Yeah, I think Littler's going to win that game convincingly. I think a lot of people do believe that. I'm not sure about you, Mark, but I think there'll be 15 legs in that game. I think he wins 11-4. I think that's the longest it goes. If it goes more than that, Jermaine's got my full respect because this is arguably the most difficult game for him in world darts right now. And Littler is for a lot of people, but when you're up against someone that you've never defeated and he's got a record of 4 games and 4 losses, I don't care who you are, how mentally strong you are, it does have an effect knowing that you've played multiple times and you haven't even got close. So when Jermaine graces this place, it's not just the fact that he's playing someone that he hasn't beaten, he's actually playing Littler on local sort of soil because it doesn't take long for Littler to get here. I don't even think he's staying in Blackpool. I think he's staying at home and travelling here.
He's probably half an hour down the road.
It's not far.
Yeah.
So he's got home comforts, and that's surely going to have an effect. Because if they were playing right next to where Jermaine lives, he'd be sleeping in his own bed, eating his own meal prep beforehand, hydrating his own way. When you're on the road, it's a lot harder to do that.
Littler's averages against Jermaine Wattimena, just to back up the point, 105.11, 116.2 at the Grand Slam. Belgian Darts Open, 110.06, 162. Last 32 of the Flanders Darts Trophy on the European Tour, 111.13, 161. And at the UK Open, averaged a mere 104.21. He must have had an off day that day, and 110.4. I mean, it's just... I asked Jermaine, we asked him, didn't we, about it? We've interviewed him when he won in round 1. Look, that was his first ever win here. He was so happy. He wasn't even bothered about the fact that he got Littler, but inside he must have been thinking, that is the worst possible draw I could have got. But look, he's got to turn up. You got a bit of stick, or I think we got a bit of stick for the headline on the thing. You said it'd be the biggest shock in match play history. People thought it's ridiculous, but it's probably not when you look at the numbers in terms of this is what's happened, and that's in the last year. Those 4, this is not 10 years ago. This is in the last 12 months.
Yeah, exactly. We're looking at what Luke is playing at. We're looking at him like a world champion and the numbers he's putting in, compared to someone who has got his place in this tournament on merit, But it can't be ignored that Jermaine Wattimena has not won a tournament in the PDC after years of trying. Littler has got stacks of titles, and he's been here for 18 months. 18 months. He's won more than 2 million in his 18 months. He's actually won more than Chris Dobey, and he's been around for about 10 years, just like Gezi.
4-1 back underway. Price with a throw. Start of leg 6. Race to 11. The Iceman with the Blackpool crowd eating out of the palm of his hand delivers them another 180 and says, feast on that.
The Iceman cometh, maybe in 2025. One of the missing pieces of the puzzle. When he was talking to us after beating Daryl Gurney, he said, this is one of those tournaments where I've been to the final, but I haven't reached the silverware point yet. He's been to the final of everything, in his own words. He's got 81 after 9. Another strong scoring performance. He's putting Dobey on the back foot again, who brilliantly gets 2 treble 20s off the back of a single 3 start. Price in 81 though. He's got bull. He'll go 7 for double 12 now. There's your single 7. Your double 12 is not hit. He's at double 9 next door to leave 6. Door is open for Dobey on 142.
It's still open. He's kicked it off its hinges. Now needs double 11. Dobey delivers 142. Says to Gerwyn Price, how do you like that one? 4-2 and a break and throw for Dobey.
142 for Dobey, 146 for Price pre-break. Now we're cooking with gas. You're expecting a delivery. You're waiting all morning, and all of a sudden the guy doesn't even ring the bell. Dobey smashes the door off the hinges, in the words of Mark Wilson on the talkSPORT Darts YouTube channel.
Well, you said it was open. It wasn't open very far on 142, Nick. Oh, yeah, come on.
That is a proper finish, isn't it? Really smart as well, getting the 2 treble 20s to leave any double, especially with these two being such similar players. Angle of entry pretty much the same, very upright, and trying to utilise their best weapon, which is that treble 20 bet.
Well, you made the point. What was he on? 265, hit big 3 with his first start. So he's gone treble 20, treble 20, treble 20, treble 20, double 11.
Yeah, 265 and 6. That's very impressive.
262 in 5.
Treble 19 start here for Price on 309. He's not going to leave a finish because his second dart was a single. He has to settle for 96 to leave 2-1-3. Dobey has a chance here. He's on 184 at 4-2 down. If he can get to 4-3 down, he's only 1 break behind. Treble 19 sandwiching 2 questionable darts, let's put it that way. But he's on 106 to be just 1 behind.
Yeah, Price had to run for cover, make sure he leaves a finish. 154, 106 for Dobey. Treble 18, his new target. Oh, it's just the wrong. He thought that was in. It clicked the wire and gone the wrong side of the wire for his point of view.
From this point, Price is going to be on 154. He's going to go to the 60 here, is he? Well, that's interesting. He didn't go for 2 treble 19s and tops. He was maintaining going for the 60. He wanted to get 2 of them for double 17. He ends up scoring 64 to leave 90, but Dobey's on 60 to get that 4-3 down scoreline to get closer. Tops. He's hit his own dart and it's on the floor. Last attempt. And this time he's too high. He was just trying to keep away from that blocker dart.
That first start was a big problem for Dobey there. Oh, he's going to be paid. He's going to be made to pay. Price on 90s, hit treble 20 for double 15. That was inevitable. As soon as Dobey's dart was too high, you felt that Price had a chance, and Price again steams in with a 90 finish. He's averaging 110 Gerwyn Price here.
You know what the best thing was about that 90 finish? It's the fact that the 60 was nothing but net. It was nowhere near the wire. And the double 15 was in the top third. Nowhere near the wire. If you had another double inside the double, he would have hit it. It was like a Michael Jordan swish shot on that 90. It really was that impressive. 5-2 Price. Average is starting to climb again after a little blip at the start of this second session. He seems to have rediscovered the old mojo.
He does. Dobey's 96, gets him down to 309, but Price on throw is on 226, less whatever he can garner from this visit. 77 with 2, make that 134. Brilliant from Price again. He's down to 92 after 9.
How did he get that third dart in that treble 19 there? He's got all the left-hand side of the bed to aim at, and he ends up going into the hard corner to leave 92. There's treble 20, nothing but net there again. This time he's got double 16 on the other side of the board. Consecutive finishes of 90 and 92, both in 2 darts. The doubling in this tournament from Price, it really is eye-poppingly good. Still 67% in the game and for the tournament.
He was briefly averaging just a smidge under 114, which is the tournament average here. Record average. Here's Dobey looking to smack in a max, deflects into the 1. Well, Dobey's still averaging a ton, but he's 6-2 down here. And Gerwyn Price, he's only just warming up. He's only just warming up. He's getting better. He is now averaging 114.
The 1 year he did make the final, it was 2022. When he played the quarterfinals, he was involved in a game that had 30 legs with Jose de Sousa. It was mega. That visit from Price was mega as well. Another max from him to leave 57 after 9, but Dobey's got 150 and he's got the treble 19 start, and another one, double 18. Oh, I think he needed that. He's missed it just underneath, and Price is on 57 for 7 legs to 2.
That was to hold throw and make it 6-3. Tops for Price. He's missed. But he doesn't miss again. He does not miss again. We get the roar. It's 7-2. He is on fire right now. And at the moment, there's nothing that Dobey can do.
That game he had with de Sousa 3 years ago in the quarters, it had 30 legs. He won it 16-14. He was pushed the whole way by the Portuguese player. This performance so far is 10 points better than any game he's ever played at the Winter Gardens. Some darts fans are out there who do not like Gerwyn Price. They have made that very clear. But there's one thing you cannot deny. When he's playing like this, he's one of the best players ever. It's as simple as that. This is out of this world. And it's getting better. That's the scary thing. It's another maximum. It's number 5. It's a surprise. There's not more.
Chris Dobey can't quite return serve. Is there a point at which we're allowed to feel sorry for Chris Dobey? That is a genuine question, by the way, because it's another. That's 4 180s in 2 legs.
Yeah, this is getting a little bit outrageous now. Chris has upped his level tonight, but he's running into Price at exactly the wrong time. Bullseye on an 83. That was right in the middle of the bullseye. He's got 33 left. There's a 9. The flight's in the way of double 12. Does it even matter anymore? It doesn't matter anymore. Is there anything Gezi Price can't hit tonight? 115.62 is the exact average for 13 darts per leg. In this game, which has had 10 legs now and an 8-2 scoreline to Price, he's averaging slightly better than 13 darts per leg. This is not far from his personal best anywhere in the world. This is so far 3 legs away from victory. Tournament best ever.
114.99. Phil Taylor, 10 legs in, has been eclipsed, but can he see it through? We saw Luke Littler in his opening game, was record numbers inside 10 legs, couldn't quite see it through in the end. You get the feeling the mood that Gerwyn Price is in. This could go tonight, and that record is from 2010. It has stood for 15 years.
I don't think this is really good news for Jermaine Wattimena, because Littler's up there, probably got his earplugs in, flicking an eye to the monitor in the practice room every now and again. He's just seen the graphic of what Price is doing. There have been times where MBG and Taylor have been in the same practice room. Michael's gone out or Phil's gone out and put in a massive number. What happens next? that person follows, because they don't want to be the silver medal performance of the night. This is going to be something to beat. I can't see Dobey getting through this game. He's 6 behind. If he was to win this game from here, it'd be Lazarus United, because Price really is playing the best that he can play right here. This is off the scale good.
Well, there's been a couple of key moments, hasn't there? Dobey having got back to 4-2 on the back of that 1-4-2, then missed 2 darts to get within 1. Price stepped in, hit 90, then takes 92 out with a clean kill, then 57 to go, 7-2 up, but that came again after the 3-figure combo. He hit the 2 treble 19s and missed double 18.
Yeah, the combos have been great, but I don't think we should forget about that last one. He's got 83 left, he's gone for 25, which would leave 18 for tops. That's the sensible thing to do if you like tops. You're trying to take the bullseye out of play at the end of it, because he had the luxury to do that. But he hits the bullseye right in the middle. Now, whether you want the bullseye or not, hitting it right in the middle is a nice feeling. It doesn't matter whether you've played for 5 minutes or 5 years or 50 years. But then, he's so in tune with double 12 that even with 33 left, he knows that if he hits the single 9 in the middle, the flight's going to be in the way of double 12. But then he pulls a Desert Orchid and he goes right over the top. Doesn't even clip a leaf. It's wonderful. It's so sharp. And I'm starting to lose count of how many doubles he's hitting in the middle. He's not edging doubles. He's not wiring doubles. He's hitting the middle of them. And that's one of the reasons why he's so sharp here tonight.
He's at 6-180s, had that 1-6-2, followed that 1-4-6 checkout. He's virtually visit perfect. He missed 1 dart when Dobey stepped in for the 1-4-2. That's the only visit where he hasn't tied it up. This is unplayable, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty much. I can't envisage a performance that would beat this. I really can't, because everything has been timed so well. And there are times when he plays to this kind of level. We've seen it in the Premier League, in Newcastle. We've seen it on the European Tour at times, when he hit a 9-darter against Glen Durrant in 2019 in Czechia. And there have been times in Riesa where you might as well just give him the trophy and don't even bother keeping the games going, because he's just so good when he goes to East Germany. But this proves that he's the best Welsh player ever. And Johnny Clayton is not far behind him. Other people have tried to be this good from the Principality. Mark Webster, Richie Burnett, world champion from 1995. They're not as good as him. It's as simple as that. And every time he plays like this, he proves why he's the best Welsh player ever.
Yeah, well, people getting involved on the talkSPORT Darts YouTube page. Liam says, hope Price gets the average record here. Well, he's on target for it. 8-2 he leads, race to 11. But it is tight. That average from Taylor, literally 1 tick under 115. It's going to take some getting, but look, whatever happens here, Price has shown he is the man to beat at the moment in World Darts.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of people thought he was going to win this tournament based on the form he's in. If somebody takes Taylor's average record in this tournament, Taylor's going to be mad. He's not going to like it. He treasures the Blackpool records. No one's going to win 16 match plays like he did. But his other little records, he likes to hold on to those as well. Price is going to have to be good here. He's on 302 after 6. It's a slightly slower start in leg number 11.
I'm going to say what Mason I said the other night. Look, the TV pays the bills. They're going to have advert breaks. But the other night, had Littler been allowed to run out the 10 legs he needed, I think he breaks the record. And I'm just wondering if the same might be going to happen to Gezi now, is that he's had to have 5 minutes off when he's absolutely in full flow, although it doesn't affect him that much. 7th maximum for him.
It might hinge on the fact that he's got 65 left. If he hits the bull again, it might be detrimental, because he wants the 25 to get to tops. Dobey's left 77. He's got the 25, but it's dangling. Don't go anywhere near it, Gezi. It's tops. Missed. He's got it. It's 9-2, and what started in that leg is a bit slow. He's finished it brilliantly, and he's brought his average just under 115 now. These margins are tight. 2 more legs to get into the next round. That is the most important thing, but we are still on record average watch.
you could almost do with Dobey holding his throw with like an 11 darter, and Gezi just gets 9 scoring darts to get the average up a bit.
Yeah, get down to 41 after 9 and just inflate it for just the one leg to give yourself a little bit of space. He will have absolutely no idea. He'll know that he's playing well, but he'll be in such a bubble that he won't have a clue what he's doing. The other day, when he won his game, he thought it was about 85. It was 100.
I think they're getting good at playing these averages down. They know how well they're playing.
96.
Dobey. Well, he needs snookers here. 9-2 down in a race to 11. And he's averaging a ton. He's had 6 darts at a double. He's not had a sniff.
He's on a different streak to Gezi at this point in time. But I have a theory that people like playing Chris. They know he's good. They know they're going to have to be sharp. But the way he plays the game, they know there's going to be no funny business. He's very much a straight down the line kind of shooter. Dobey after 12, he has left 80. Price is going to be on a finish as well from 184. But what will it be? 2 treble 20s. He goes for treble 8. Misses it just to the left. So is it going to be 9-3 with a Dobey check out here? Or is it going to be 10-2?
Is it single? That now means he's climbing the ladder, and again that is awkward, that dart, and he can't find tops. Another missed opportunity for Dobey.
Well, 17 darters aren't going to give you a record average here. It's the best that Price can do. That's a 16. How's his tops? Right on cue, right in the middle. He's getting chances and he's taking pretty much every one of them. 71% on the doubles in this game. You simply cannot ask for much more than that in this format. 112 exactly is the average.
Yeah, he has lessened up. Look, he was running at a record pace, no other word for it. He's not quite there at the minute. He'll be on the list of the top 10, you would imagine, barring a disastrous leg here. Dobey on 3-2-1. Price is only at 58 and 97.
And by the looks of it, you're going to be interviewing Gezi Price after this. You know what he's going to say if he wins by 11 legs to 2 or 11 legs to 3 or something like that. He'll say, yeah, not really bothered about record averages. I just want to play well, win the game and get into the next round. And he's very close. 3-4-6 though. Comes down by a ton. And Dobey has still got a nice 1 dart lead here on the throw in leg number 13. 2 treble 20s for him. Goes down to the treble 15 and gets 3 there as well. So there you have it. Dobey 12 darts thrown and he's on double 8. Be interesting to see what he does if he hits this double 8. He hasn't won a leg in a while.
Double 8 then for a third leg. Again, it's a blocker. He's having to go to the left and he can't access it. Double 4. He's lucky that went in the 8, not in the 16. And that's a mile off.
1-5-2 for the match. He's had 1 ton plus check and he might be getting another. There's treble 20. He just misses out on a second one. Has to settle for a ton in the end. Dobey on double 2 to keep this match alive. He's having to stop himself from smiling. Keep smiling because he's hit double 2 and for the first time in a while he's got himself a chalk mark. It's 10-3 on the talkSPORT Darts YouTube channel here at the match play in Blackpool.
140.
Felt sorry for Damon Heta when he gave it everything he had the other day. Lost to Andrew Gilding. Couldn't have played any better and just didn't win. Dobey's played okay today. Not done a great deal. Oh, he's missed a couple of doubles in patches, but he's just been absolutely dominated here.
Yeah, and this is a lesson to people out there who are watching this. If you think you can average 98 and you think you're going to go and take on the world, how about taking on Price? He'll have you for breakfast, brunch, lunch, snack, dinner and midnight snack, playing the way he's played tonight. 2 treble 20s from 311. That could be the last maximum of this game for Price. 131 left at 10-3 up. The average, it's brilliant, but it's all about getting to the finishing line right now, which is very close.
It is. It's all about the layup here. 40 scored. He'll be coming down for treble 17. Can't find it. So a little bit of meat left on the bone, but Dobey's a mile back on 2.58.
If you gave him a lamb shank right now, I don't think there'd be much meat left on that because he's been hungry tonight. Give the man some mint gravy. 74. He's got the 4. Now he's got 70 left. Small 10 is good enough. When you add that with a big 20, a little bit of a wry smile from the Iceman, because he's now going to have 3 darts at tops to win this by 11 legs to 3. Dobey can do nothing from 198. This could be just a consolation shot.
Yeah. Sees him fall right down the list of record averages. Tops for the match. Gerwyn Price might not have been record breaking, but Chris Dobey just smiles and says, hey, thanks for that, mate. I owe you one. He's absolutely blasted him off the board. Gerwyn Price, another big average, another roar for the crowd in Blackpool. You would be a brave person now to oppose Gerwyn Price lifting the Phil Taylor Trophy on Sunday night. He was pushed by Gurney. There were fireworks there were fireworks tonight, but they were all on the dartboard and all on the hockey. 108.73, you've got to scroll down, he's down. That'll be 15th best. That's how hard it is to get into that top 10 here at Blackpool. He will not be bothered about that. If he's not breaking the record, it's irrelevant. He's won 11-3, and he looked like he had a bit more left in him.
Oh, absolutely. He could play best of 31 like darts until the cows come home. He's only got 3 more games in this tournament to play. He will have plenty left in the tank, that's for sure. But 10 years on from his debut here at the Winter Gardens, he is going through the gears, and that's the best he's ever played. And as for the 2 games he's had in this tournament, they feature in his top 6. So he is playing the best he's ever played at the Winter Gardens. And the last thing is, Mark, we can't ignore the doubling. 73% in that game, 70% for the tournament. We thought James Wade was doubling well. Compared to Gezi, he's second best, because Price is finishing like he's throwing hedgehogs at the door. That's how good, that's how dependable the Welsh number 2 is. He's not even the Welsh number 1.
Michael van Gerwen or Josh Rockwaite in the quarterfinals on Friday night. But coming up next, it's the world champion Luke Littler takes on Jermaine Wattimena. Are we going to see some more big numbers? Or are we going to see a huge upset? That's on the talkSPORT Darts YouTube channel next. But tonight, Gerwyn Price has just put down a marker at Blackpool at the Winter Gardens. A career best for him. 108.73. He's thrashed Dobey by 11 legs to 3.